The whole idea of this floating apartment is to feel as if you're just with nature and you can walk seamlessly from inside to outside with bifold doors. You'll find the superstructure here has 3/4 of the whole perimeter actually in glass, so there's not a spot where you don't look, where you're just surrounded by looking at the beautiful ocean. We tried to do something a little different as far as houseboats go. They have a little bit of a stigma that they're kind of white and blue and just made out of fiberglass. So we wanted to take it to the next level. And the moment you step on board, we wanted to have that feeling like you were just checking into a small boutique hotel with some beautiful finishes and just a really nice relaxing vibe so that you can spend the weekend unwinding. So the design of the French Martini has kind of come about. It's a little bit of quintessential Danny and I, my wife, from years of just travelling. It really is just a collaboration of our life, and we want to try and share that with other people by developing the boats.
We have owned a houseboat before, but we renovated it and it didn't have the areas and the specific design elements that were required for us to enjoy. So this boat particularly is very special to us because it's exactly what we wanted for ourselves and our family. It was really important for me to design a very neutral but warm aesthetic feel with the French linen fabrics, with the window furnishings. We also wanted it to feel somewhat hardy. We don't want people to feel like that they can't sit on a piece of furniture, so hence the leathers. The upstairs dining pavilion, the juxtaposition of those two areas, the indoor-outdoor feel, was very important to us because we love entertaining with our family and friends. So those elements, especially that upstairs dining pavilion, the opulence of it, but also the casualness of it is really important to us.
The materials we used on the boat, we imported tiles from Italy for the shower. We've got beautiful Calcutta marble on all the benches and in the ensuite. The floors came from France. They're called façades, and they're like a beautiful weathered finish which looks as if they've been there, you know, in a beautiful apartment somewhere. The walls, we actually did a paint finish which is called a Venetian render. I wanted something that would reflect the colours throughout the day.
My husband and I are all about creating experiences and giving experiences to those that we love. And so there's been nothing spared for ourselves or for anybody that actually gets to enjoy or stay on board our houseboat.
As far as the height of the ceilings, this is 2,700 high, which is the same in beautiful homes. Boats normally feel like they're coming down on top of your head, so I wanted to kind of push the boundaries. By doing this, we had to engineer it properly by putting a lot of beams inside all of the walls, and then we also ran some beautiful exposed beams up in the ceiling. These are actually made out of aluminium, and they're to replicate timber. I decided to then push the ceilings up as high as I could, and by having those beams exposed gives us another 200 mils above what you actually feel, because there's that little cove that goes up higher. Up above that, putting a ripple effect timber that kind of reflects the bottom of the ocean. We employed a shipwright by the name of Chris Mitchell. Has a great background in building boats, timber boats, race boats. It came from Sydney. We were very lucky to be able to meet each other. We've complemented each other. The thing with boats is obviously they need to be boats, and they have to float. They've got to have the right power, you know, water, everything's got to be perfect. We can run the whole boat right here from this screen. As far as turning lights on, we can check how much water we have, petrol levels. It also tells you the depth of the water, the tides, the weather reports. It's top end, very similar to what they'd be using on super yachts these days. We have two Honda 150 horsepower VTECs. So we've got 300 horsepower there, which is ample. Top speed would be probably 8 to 9 knots, but really cruising is about 4 or 5 knots, and that's all you want to do. My favourite spot would be definitely upstairs. We've managed to have a beautiful lounge area up there where you just don't have any interruptions as far as walls or views. And so you can kind of sit there with a cocktail in the afternoons and get the breeze around the back of your neck, which is fantastic. I do love the helm station. I feel like a captain sitting here. Even if you're not going anywhere, it's kind of a cool spot to sit, also to have a drink. We kind of designed this that we made this almost like a little bit of a bar, so if I'm kind of cruising along, we can have a stool at the front. You know, you can have some good friends sitting there. Behind us, we kind of have like a little coffee nook, and we often just move that table, and other friends can kind of sit there as we cruise along, which is really nice. So they'd be two of my favourite spots, yeah, for sure.
We have very busy lives. We run a couple of businesses, and so there's nothing like getting on the water and just chilling out and doing absolutely nothing.
It's important to have areas on houseboats because, you know, the wind could be blowing one way, there could be rain coming in, it could be too hot. So the deck's kind of designed that, you know, although small, you can pop a chair out the front there, hang your legs over the side. There's a couple of beautiful chairs that we can move wherever we want, so they're not a permanent fixture.
One of the most beautiful elements of being on the water is the way that the light hits the boat, whether it be sunrise in the morning and the stream of light comes in on the linen fabrics on the bed when you're having a coffee, or afternoon when the sunset hits and it just streams through the lounge room or the top deck while you're having a glass of champagne. It just gives you this feeling of you're actually away from the real world and you are on a desert island somewhere or on your favourite holiday spot, but really you're just locally on the Noosa River. It is just absolutely breathtaking. There's just something really calming and nurturing about being on the water that just releases all of that tension as soon as you step on board. I just feel so relaxed and all of my worries kind of float out the window literally. It is just a beautiful, beautiful place to come and regroup with yourself.
Favourite time of day? It's kind of all of it, to be honest with you. As long as you're on the boat, it's always a good time.